So we are not going to bury the headline at all this morning. We're going to get it taken care of right off the top. I was way off in my projections earlier this year when I said that a bare minimum we would sell 2.3 million cars this year. And then I reduced that and I said, well, okay, maybe it'll be 2.1 million. Well, we're not going to get anywhere close to 2.1 million. So let's get that off the table. I was completely wrong. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. And I can make excuses all day long, but that's the reality. All right. This is Randy Kirk. Hopefully you'll enjoy the commentary this morning because it's not going to be as good as it would have been at 2.1 or 2.3 million cars. But guess what? It's not all that bad, at least based on my projections as they stand right now. So hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. Later this weekend, I will do 2024. Maybe this weekend, maybe early next week, I'll do 2025, and eventually I'll even do 2026. So those will be things that you want to hit notify so you'll be reminded to see. And then later this afternoon, of course, I do my Tesla Saturday news show. Nobody else does the news on Saturday. So if you want the news, that's where you'll find it later today. I'll have, oh yes, I'm going to answer your questions later today. Put them down in the comments below. If you wanted a question answered, this is the time to hit it because I'm going to be looking at the questions and I'm going to do a show later today, probably 4 o'clock this afternoon, California time, where I'm going to answer your questions. How about that? All right. Okay. Let's get right into it. So here is the bear, the absolute bottom. I can't imagine it getting any worse than this view of where we're going to end up in 2023. So we know what happened in the first and second quarter. So let's go to the third quarter. I'm saying that Fremont will be equal to last quarter. I'm saying Shanghai also will be equal to last quarter. Now we'll show in the base case and the bull case above that Shanghai probably is going to be more than 230,000, but let's just go with a worst case, taking a look at people like Troy Teslike, who thinks that maybe this is more realistic. He may not even be this high. And then Austin, I'm showing a drop because of the Cybertruck activity, Model Y upgrades, et cetera, taking place down there. I'm saying only 30,000. This is my bear case, remember. And then in Berlin, also a drop because of why. I don't know, just a drop. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to make the bear case. I'm trying to go around somewhere close to Troy Teslike's numbers because he's doing all this detail. I don't do the detail. I try to make some judgments based on the overall information that I have. All right, so 445,000 is the total. Get into quarter four. You can see that I think Fremont will be back 100%, even maybe their best quarter ever at 150,000. Shanghai definitely at 250,000. I don't see how they missed that. Austin should be picking back up again, and Berlin picking back up, still not hitting their quarter two levels, to get to 500,000. All right, so that is where we are for a total of 1.854. That would be over the 1.8 million that some people are projecting, even under 1.8. All right, let's look up above then. And here, what does that do to the rest of it then? All right, so you plug those babies in, and I'm going to say that we're going to even drop lower on the average selling cost in quarter three to 45,000. That would be equivalent to quarter one. I'm saying, though, in quarter four, we'll start sneaking back up again as the market conditions improve actually in quarter four. That possibly because of the strike, possibly because people are over the interest rate problem, et cetera. And also because Tesla is going to be putting on a push. And I don't think they're going to drop prices to do that. So I'm going to go 46,000. You can put 45,000 in there and it won't make a huge amount of difference. Total revenue, you've got that number is, of course, just a multiplication. Margins, I'm going to say they stay at 18. This is, again, bear case. 18 last month, I'm saying stays at 18. Various conditions and circumstances keep it low, even as there are positive things coming through the system. I don't think it's going to be 18, but let's just go with that. I got to have a bear case, right? All right, so therefore you get those numbers there that are automatic. Let's take a look at energy profits. Okay, we should be doing pretty darn close to 20 billion of sales in, I'm sorry, not 20 billion. We should be at the run rate of 20 billion in sales, giving us a run rate of $5 billion by the fourth quarter in the energy storage plant in Lathrop. So if we did 5 billion at only 10%, that would be 0.5. Now remember, there's some bookkeeping issues here too. So I'm saying the bookkeeping issues are still going to be an issue. Maybe they'll be coming better than this, and these numbers will be low. But that's where I'm going for now. Other profit, I think this is very, very. We had 400 million in other profit in quarter two. I think every aspect of the other profit category will be going up. So going up to 500 million and 600 million of profit is a pretty small get in terms of things like charging stations, all the electrical grid stuff, you know, what do you call it, the retail, all of the margin balancing things. There's so many other of these items in the other. Pretty soon this other profit is going to start to become a deal. All right, total profit 4.5 in quarter three, 5.2 in quarter four, overhead 2, and then 2.2. This is a little bit of a drop. There was some extra here, so I'm going to drop it down just a little bit and then back up again in quarter four because of the higher numbers, giving us gap of 2.5 billion and 3.0 billion. Earnings per share dropping down to 73 and then back to 0.88. So in my worst case analysis, we still have more profit in quarter four than we did in either quarter one or quarter two, after a slight drop in quarter three. Total for the year, $3.32. The $2.99 is kind of my estimate after taxes. So $3.32 for the year. At 80, that would make this the current stock range that we're in right now at around 80 PE for this year. Okay, on my worst case, absolute bear case. Okay, let's move up to the base case. I think I'm probably still calling it. Yeah, this is a base case. Okay, I got a call right. All right, let's go down to the Fremont. Here we go. So in this particular case, I'm going to give a little more everywhere. I'm just kind of balancing out everywhere. And we end up getting to 460 in quarter three. And basically what you're looking at there is maybe we don't build 460,000 cars. Maybe we only build 445, but we take out some of that 100,000 inventory that's out there. And then in quarter four, we probably do build 500,000 cars, and sell 500,000 cars, or some kind of, you know, there's always hard to tell because you got things that are in transit, and we've definitely seen the smoothing out of the shipping early for export markets, especially out of Shanghai. That's very much smoothed out. So little hard to call exactly how this will all play out, but I'm saying 460 and 500 on my base case, okay, for a total of 1.869, getting close to 1.9. And then we'll take that up and play it out across the rest here. So now you've got, I'm keeping the margins at 18 still on my base case, okay? Trying to be conservative here. And my average selling cost dropping here again and going back up to 46,000. And where do we end up? We end up with an EPS of gap of 2.6 billion and 3.1 billion. EPS still dropping down a little bit to 76, but going up to 91 for a very good fourth quarter, 338 for the year. You know, this would be very much in line again with our current stock price, a little bit closer on the 80 PE for this year, which is not how very many people are basing the stock prices based on this year's numbers, because the stock is growing so rapidly. But an 80 PE would get us to right around where the stock is right now. So yeah, that's you know, my base case. Is it the one I really think is going to happen? Well, all right, let's go to my bull case. All right, my bull case. We do what we did in quarter two. We do exactly the same amount in quarter three in Fremont, and we increase to this should be able to do 600,000 a year in Fremont. If everything goes well, we get 150,000. We should be easily quite frankly, it's 240,000 out of Shanghai this quarter. I guess they could do a lot less in this third month of the third quarter, but right now we're definitely on pace to do 240. So we'll see what happens over these next couple of weeks. And then 250, which is still under their potential in the fourth quarter, but I'll be a little bit conservative and say only 250 in the fourth quarter. As you can see, that would only be 938 for the year, and they do have the potential to do 1 million. I'm saying Austin doesn't drop as badly, but still drops a little bit in the third quarter, and then gets back up to where it is at the still. You realize that's still only a run rate of 200,000. So 200,000 run rate for Austin right now is pretty sad. And same thing in Berlin, dropping a little bit in the third quarter, and then back up to a run rate of 240,000. That's still way under the capability. And as you know, I've been saying for a while now, Elon has never said it. The board has never said it. Nobody's ever said it at Tesla. None of the executives have said it. They are intentionally keeping production low at Austin and Berlin. They don't have the ability to sell all of the capacity. And so they haven't started third shifts. They haven't started fourth shifts. They haven't started third lines or fourth lines or fifth line, whatever. I don't know the details, but I know what's happening here is this ramp is nothing like the Model 3 ramp or the Model Y original ramp. It's much, much slower. And that's because it's really, really hard to sell as many additional cars in this kind of environment this year. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. High interest rates, an overall kind of gloomy market condition worldwide, in particular China and Europe. US is not great, but China and Europe even worse. So overall, this bull case would suggest we still don't get to 1.9 compared to my 2.1 recent estimate. That's still a couple 200,011 less than my most recent bull case estimate of 2.1. All right, what does that mean for dollars and cents? Well, we go up here to dollars and cents. I'm going to say in my bull case that the margins do increase in the third quarter. I do believe they will increase. I think they could be back to 2, but I'm going to be conservative. I mean, to 20% margin. I'm going to say in quarter 4, they will get back over 20 to 21%. And this is based on lower cost of raw materials, lower cost of batteries, dramatic increases in their ability to make the cars at just an overall operating margin dropping in terms of the cost per car, just by the fact that they're always getting better at making the cars, and no decreases in selling prices. My average selling cost, I do go up a little bit in the third quarter because there haven't been any significant drops in the selling costs, and there are more Model Ys being sold. And then same thing for quarter 4, just another little tiny increase to 46.7. Now you could put in lower numbers there and it won't affect, it affects it, but it doesn't affect our final number very much. On energy, just a little bit stronger than what I showed before. Other profit, I think, is exactly the same. What does that do? That brings us down to an EPS of 3.1 billion in the third quarter, 4.1 billion, and a total of 12.4 billion. That is now roughly equaling where Ford and General Motors are. And then an EPS of 91 cents, which would be a beat. That would definitely be a beat. $1.19 next quarter would definitely be a beat for 380 beating overall for the year. And 380 now, if you multiply that times 8, you're getting over $300 a share. So this is probably where we end up, as opposed to my base case. This is probably a lot closer to where we do end up. It's probably a lot closer to where the average retail person is thinking where we are, and probably why we're approaching $300 a share even before we get FSD, before we get anything on bots, before we know when the Cybertruck is actually going to start rolling out. So anyway, that's where we are. With a couple of catalysts over the next couple of months, we should definitely see even better than this. Now, last night, I ran a couple of videos. We had some technical difficulties, and I don't have any capability to personally, well, I know how to edit but it has been so long since I edited anything. I was not willing to go in and try to edit it. Plus, if I had edited the problems that we had last night, it would have been like 8 o'clock before the thing would have been out. So I put up 2 videos instead of 1 because we had to break it due to internet connection problems. Anyway, those are 2 really, really good videos from last night. I'll put both of the cards up here, but those are Larry Goldberg videos. And we're talking about oil in one. We're talking about the strike on the other. They are worthwhile your time. I'd highly recommend you go and take a look at those. Besides that, I don't spend 1 minute on either one of them talking about these. So, I mean, that would be worth it all by itself, right? So, I do this at the end now so that if you already know everything you need to know about these little Cybertruck magnets, you don't have to watch it, okay? But if you're new to the channel or if you're still trying to make up your mind, the price is the same. This magnet, I just put it up on Amazon. Probably later today, it'll be live. I put it up at $29.95. I decided this is easily worth $29.95, but you get it for $25, no freight. Unless you're outside the country, you got to add $20 for freight if you're outside the US. But if you're in the US, it's $25, freight included. And if you go on Amazon later today, you'll see I've got it at $29.95. Now, it also comes in the camo. I'm getting about 25 to 35% camo orders. That's interesting in the overall scheme of things. I believe camos are going to sell big. I think wraps are going to be a big part of this truck. They look better with a wrap. They look better with some fun going on instead of just the stainless steel. That's my view. I think the stainless steel looks great, but I think the wraps are going to be a big, big deal when it comes to Cybertruck. So anyway, $25. That's if you want to buy it direct. That's on paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all lowercase. Great box. So these are gifts. Definitely, people are definitely doing as gifts. I'm getting orders. I would say the average order now is more than 1. Lots of 2s, lots of 3s, multiple 6s, multiple 8s, 110. I think only 110. Only one person's 4 out of 10. Anyway, so great for gifts, great for all kinds of opportunities. And then, of course, you can join Patreon at the $10 level. Now, you have 2 choices then. You can buy both of those books at the $10 level, or if you join at the $5 level, you get 1 book. Or we have 2 more books. We've got What Fridays and Payday and Making Money Out of Thin Air. Those are also available to choose from when you join at the $5 or $10 level. 1 at the $5 level, 2 at the $10 level for free. That's audiobooks. Okay. Or you get at the $10 level 1, either the camo or the stainless. You get that for free if you join at the $10 level. Please, no matter whether you buy it through PayPal or whether you do it at the PayPal level, please tell me whether you want a camo or whether you want the stainless. It saves both you and me extra effort. Okay, hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. Be sure and go back and take a look at those Larry interviews last night. I think you'll enjoy both of them. That is all I have for you right now. It has been great talking to you.